How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Gym Review. This is episode number 2, and in this episode, we will be reviewing Surge Fitness and Lifestyle, their flagship store in Glorietta 3. So the reason why I wanted to review this branch first, aside from it being their flagship store, this branch is 1,300 square meters, which is absolutely massive. So, of course, for a first gym review video of Surge Fitness and Lifestyle, I might as well go hard and review their biggest branch. So without any delay, let's check out the criteria. Here in Gym Review, we have 4 main criteria to guide us in giving our overall review of the gym. First up, we have location. This is where we discuss how accessible the gym actually is and if there are any worthwhile establishments nearby. Next up, we have to talk about the condition of the gym itself. This is where we will talk about how well the equipment is maintained, as well as how clean and tidy the gym is. Afterwards, we'll talk about the pricing of the gym, as well as the available payment methods. And finally, everyone's favorite, we have to talk about the available equipment that the gym has. And since every gym goer has their specific goals and training methods, we'll talk about the equipment from 4 different training perspectives: general strength and conditioning, powerlifting, bodybuilding, and finally, weightlifting. So let's talk about the location of this branch. Now, as mentioned, this branch is located in Glorietta 3. Now, a lot of people might like the fact that it is located in a mall because before or after your training sessions, you can hit up a restaurant, a shop, the grocery, and that's really convenient. But the reason why I'm not a huge fan all the time of going to a gym that's located in the mall is because of parking fees. Now, I don't want to say that I'm cheap, but the fact that you have to go to a mall for the sole purpose of going to the gym, which is great, but the fact that you will be paying parking every single time that you will be working out, that's going to add up on top of your membership fees. So I checked it out. The Glorietta 3 parking lot, you have to pay 40 pesos. That's the base parking fare. So 40 pesos, if you go, for example, 4 times a week, that's an additional 160 pesos allocated for parking. And of course, if you do times 4 in a month, you will be spending 640 pesos just for parking without considering gas. So location-wise, it is absolutely great that it is in a mall, that you'll have access to a lot of things, but in exchange, you will have to pay a bit more each time you go. So with regards to location, I'd give it an 8 out of 10, primarily because it's not that great that I have to pay parking each time I go. Now let's talk about the condition of this branch. So from what I've been able to research, this branch has been alive for 3 years, or ever since like 2020, based on their social media posts, or 2021. So it's fairly a new gym. And as expected, when I headed to the gym, it was pretty clean. Literally every single piece of equipment, whether that be a cardio machine, a weights machine, or everything, all of them were maintained quite well, except for just this one machine wherein the handle or the rubber grip was torn off, so they put some remedy tape there. So aside from that, everything is really perfect. When it comes to the bathroom, it's really clean, no issues there. All the toilets work, all the lockers work, so it is a pretty well-maintained gym. So just because of that one machine that has, some remedy on it, I'd have to give Surge a 9.5 out of 10 because overall it is a really well-maintained gym. Now, let's talk about the pricing of Surge. I had a hard time when I was thinking about how I can review this, how I can rate the pricing of Surge, because there are a lot of differing factors that were coming into mind. So before we get into that, let's talk about the actual price. They told me that their monthly rate is $2,999 per month. And if you are a new member, you do have to pay a 3,000 membership fee or admin fee. So at your very first month, you will be spending shy of 6,000 pesos. You will be spending 5,999. That is, I would say, kind of big because it's, basically twice. You're paying for 2 months just for your first month only because of the membership fee. But if you were to compare it to Anytime Fitness, Surge at the first month is actually cheaper. Surge, you'll be paying 5,999, and in Anytime Fitness, you will be paying a total of 7,500 because of the 2,500 admin fee, 2,500 key fob fee, 2,500 fee for the first month. So that's 7,500. It is 1,500 pesos more expensive than Surge on that first month. But on a monthly basis, once you get over that first month, you will be spending 499 pesos more every month for Surge. Now, is that a huge price difference? I mean, yes, it is, sure. But for me, the reason why I'm comparing both these companies is because one, they're both open 24/7, and two, if you're a member of their company, you will have access to all their branches. So as of now, I don't think Surge carries that much value when it comes to that sense of having access to all branches, because Anytime Fitness has a dozen of branches here in Metro Manila. Every 2 or 3 kilometers, or you're really going to see how many branches of Anytime Fitness, as opposed to Surge. Based on my counting, they only have like 7 or 8 branches that are currently open right now. I mean, hopefully they will be opening much more branches in the future, but as of early 2023, I think value-wise, or like just monetary value-wise, you will be able to find more value in Anytime Fitness, especially because you would have access to all their branches worldwide. But that's my opinion solely on the equipment and the accessibility that either branch will have. What Surge has over Anytime Fitness is the actual lifestyle part in their name. Again, they're called Surge Fitness and Lifestyle, and they really take the lifestyle part quite seriously because, to my knowledge, every branch has a lounge area that has some form of recreational activity. I think most branches have a PS5. This Glorietta branch, yeah, it has a PS5. It has a billiards table, it has an air hockey, it has a juice bar, it has a coffee bar. So that's really good if you're really somebody who's after the lifestyle part alongside the fitness. If you're somebody who's after the fitness part primarily, I think there's more value in Anytime Fitness. But if you're somebody who loves that lifestyle, Surge by far has a lot more value to offer. So with all that in mind, I do have to give Surge a 7 out of 10 when it comes to their pricing, when it comes to the overall value. Down the line, when they do have more branches that are available to the public, I actually think that I would give them a 9 or even a 10 out of 10 rating, because if it's everywhere here in Metro Manila, that is going to be probably the best bang for your buck gym here. And the final criteria that we will be talking about would be the actual equipment of the gym. Now, everyone has different goals when they go to the gym, so we have to break it down into those specific goals. When it comes to general fitness or general strength and conditioning, right off the bat, I do have to give this a 10 out of 10, primarily because there's so much space for whatever you would want to do. So the Glorietta branch has some turf area. It has a lot of this, I don't know what you would want to call it, like functional equipment that are available, such as kettlebells, Y-bells. Actually, they have different areas for you to hook on resistance bands, TRX, or like suspension training methods or straps. So there's a lot to do in an open space. And for a lot of people, that means quite a lot. I mean, of course, the actual machines are great, the free weights are great, but that open space to do whatever your body needs or whatever your coach thinks you need, that is really, really essential. And of course, there's all the equipment is basically complete. So on that note, 10 out of 10 when it comes to general fitness. Now, when it comes to powerlifting, Based on the B-roll that you are seeing right now, you probably think I'm going to give this a 10 out of 10. But no, unfortunately, I cannot give this a 10 out of 10. It's just a 8 out of 10, which is still pretty good. But the main reason why I can't give this gym a 10 out of 10 when it comes to powerlifting is because, believe it or not, this gym has no 1.25 kilogram plates, or like roughly 2.5 pounds, which is a big deal actually, because there are some times, or almost every single time, you don't necessarily need to jump 5 kilos or 10 kilos or whatever. Those are big jumps. Sometimes you just want to add a total of 2.5 kilograms to the barbell. And in this gym, you literally don't have the means to do that. So of course, not even in the context of powerlifting, like for general fitness, I still gave it a 10 out of 10 a while ago because of everything else that is available. But the fact that no matter who you are, you can't make a jump on the barbell by 2.5 kilograms total. And same with their machines, actually. They have a lot of plate-loaded machines. You can't make a jump of 2.5 or like 1.25 per side. Instead, you'll have to slap on a full 2.5, which is a big issue in my end. But the reason why I still gave it a high rating of 8 out of 10 would be because of the two amazing squat racks that they have. The squat racks are great. The spotter arms can go as low as you would want, whether that be for a low bench. You can do floor presses there actually as well. It's a really great rack, and the platform is one of the best platforms that I've ever seen. The grip was really strong. Not once did I ever feel like slipping. And the fact that Surge, this branch, is 2 floors. The bottom floor is where the group classes are. The first floor is where the weights are. You can actually slam the weights because you're not going to be disturbing any other establishment below you. So overall, like for deadlifting and like everything else, it's really great. I mean, what can be better, sana, would be if they had more racks. But on its own, those 2 racks. Oh, and they also have a dedicated bench, which has, what do you call this? Pendulum arms or like lever arms, which is great. So it is really great. I just really had to slash 2 points right off the bat to make it 8 out of 10, all because they don't have 1.25 kilogram plates, unfortunately. Now for bodybuilding, it is a great gym. I would give it a 9 out of 10 because the available machines that they have are pretty great. And actually, the first thing that I do want to talk about is that, to my knowledge, whether for a commercial gym, this is the only branch that I know that has a pendulum squat, which felt great. It was my first time to use it, to really use it. And my quads were really wrecked. I really love this machine. Like, there's no way for me to make it better. It's really a great substitute to the leg press. So on that note, I really love that for bodybuilding if I really want to focus on my leg size. They also had a dedicated calf machine, which God knows I need. And they had 4 plate loaded press machines. They have like a shoulder press or like an upper incline bench. So it was just great. Overall, they have a lot of machines. The reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is because, same thing as the powerlifting issue, you don't have 1.25 kilogram plates. So if ever you're doing a bodybuilding movement with a barbell, you're not really so focused on adding a lot of weight. You just want to focus on the quality of your sets. So with that same reason, it can't be a perfect 10 out of 10, but I'm not going to slash off 2 points, instead just 1 point. So it is just a 9 out of 10, which is, still pretty good. And finally, for weightlifting, this gets a 7 out of 10. So as mentioned, the platforms here are really fantastic. And the fact that they have bumper plates that are up to 5 kilograms. So when it comes to 5 kilograms per bar, per side of the bar, that's a total of 30. That is a very good weight. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that, especially beginners, because you don't have to go for a mini 5 kilogram plate, which is great. But again, for weightlifting, I actually had to slash 3 points off because, more so than powerlifting, you do want to make very baby jumps when you're lifting. You don't want to make a major, like a 2.5 or a 5 kilogram jump on your barbell when you do weightlifting. You want to make smaller increments. So again, that's actually the biggest issue that I have with Surge. Everything else is great, but the fact that they don't have 1.25 kilogram plates, that is a major no-no when it comes to serious powerlifters as well as weightlifters. So because of that, weightlifting wise, it gets a 7 out of 10. It's still a pretty good place. You have 2 platforms. I mean, of course, if it becomes crowded, that can be an issue. But nonetheless, the quality of their bars, the quality of their bumper plates, the quality of the platform itself, the fact that you don't have to worry about slowing it down, or like when you drop the weights, you don't have to really be quiet. It still gets a 7 out of 10. So overall, pretty good. Now, considering all of those scores, Surge gets an 8.5 when it comes to equipment. All right, sorry, scratch that score. I gave that score an 8.5. I have to revoke that because I am actually just going to give Surge a 5.5. I'm going to slash an additional 3 points to the equipment part, primarily because I found out like a few more weeks of training in this gym is that with their 2 squat racks, they only have 1 pair of J hooks, which is unheard of. Like the guys, the coaches that I asked there, they didn't know why they didn't have 2 pairs of J hooks for 2 squat racks. So because of that, just not to not make this video any longer, its original score for equipment was 8.5, but I'm slashing an additional 3 to make it just 5.5. Incredible. Now, after tallying all the scores, Surge Fitness and Lifestyle Glorietta 3 gets an overall score of 7.5. So that's a pretty good gym. Not a perfect gym, but hey, it's hard for any gym to be actually perfect. But overall, it is still pretty good. Value-wise, I believe that it is going to skyrocket to a 9 or even possibly a 9.5 or 10 out of 10 in the future if they have a lot more branches. And I know they are going to make some branches. So until then, it's still a pretty good gym to consider. Now, it's up to you if you find that there will be more value for you to join a gym like Anytime Fitness. But if you're in the Makati area and you know where Surge is, Glorietta 3, this is a good option to go for. And that wraps up episode number 2 of Gym Review. If there's any other Anytime Fitness branch or Surge branch that you'd want me to go to, please let me know because I am currently a member in those 2 gym franchises. The next one I believe that I'll be signing up for will be either Gold's Gym or Fitness First. So please do comment down below. Which one do you want me to sign up for first? Gold's Gym or Fitness First?